A massive residential development planned for the car parks of the Caulfield Racecourse has drawn attention to land use at the track. The racecourse is on Crown land, and although many don't know it, it's set aside for a public park and recreational use as well as horse racing. The local council doesn't have many sporting grounds, and with its population set to grow by another 20,000 people in the next 15 years, it's keen to develop new sports fields inside the racetrack. But it fears a new lease agreement about to go to the state government for approval could lock up the land for the next 21 years, as Guy Stainer reports.
A suburban street in Caulfield suffers gridlock like the Balti Bridge. It's Wednesday night and the cars aren't moving as 200 kids from the Ajax Junior Football Club are being picked up or dropped off for training. In total, the club has 420 players, but while the juniors are training at Caulfield, the Ajax seniors are 8 kilometres away at Albert Park.
We're delighted with our facilities and the access that we've got. What we'd really like, though, is that we'd like to be able to have our senior footy club down here.
3/4 of the senior team lives in Glen Ira, but despite years of trying, the senior team is unable to relocate and unite with the juniors.
Glen Ira just does not have enough free space, and as much as council would like to accommodate us and help us and work with us, they're restricted with what they can do because there's just not enough room. And unfortunately, with that, it keeps our seniors, out of the district.
Too many teams want access to too few grounds. Glen Ira has the smallest area of greenfield space of any council in Victoria.
The City of Glen Ira in 2013 conducted a study into the number of sporting clubs and teams who wanted to play sport in the City of Glen Ira. When that report came back, it showed us that 20 football, soccer teams last year could not play sport in the City of Glen Ira because we couldn't accommodate them. We didn't have enough grounds.
Yet in the heart of the municipality lies an enormous public park that largely sits idle. It's the inside of the Caulfield Racecourse.
I have lived in Glen Ira since the day I was born, and I actually must confess to know that I didn't know that it was a public park.
No, I thought it was for horses.
And most Glen Ira residents who do know they can access the racecourse choose not to.
Generally, it's not a public place, even though it is, but it's not, in my view, considered as one because of the fenced-off area of it, even though you can access it.
While it might be accessible to the public, it's not particularly inviting.
Well, it looked like it was locked, but sure enough, if you actually come up to the gate, it opens for you.
Entering feels like trespassing.
We were assured that you can get access to the centre of the racetrack after 9:45 in the morning, and so we're going through the horse tunnel that goes underneath the track into the centre of the course.
In 1879, this land was set aside for 3 things: a racecourse, a public recreation ground and a public park. For 135 years, the land has functioned as a racecourse and little else. There's a widely held perception the Caulfield Racecourse Reserve Trust has managed the property for the benefit of racing and largely ignored the other designated uses of the Crown land. The Glen Ira City Council is demanding greater access to the racecourse.
When you look at the availability of open space, the centre of the racecourse has 15 MCG playing fields sitting empty all day long, and we can't touch them.
From the air, you can appreciate the size of the site. One recently created soccer pitch uses just a fraction of the public land available. A Glen Ira concept plan to develop football, rugby, soccer and baseball fields inside the racetrack would require horse training to cease at Caulfield. The Melbourne Racing Club says that won't happen in the short term.
The call for greater access is a little bit frustrating. Previously, we'd actually offered some of our land to organise sports such as soccer for the local council, and unfortunately that didn't eventuate for a variety of reasons. And one of the key reasons was they didn't want exclusive use of the land for organised sport, and for certain people they wanted it more for a community benefit.
The club recently spent $1.8 million on park upgrades, but few residents are being enticed to the racetrack interior. Large tracts of land that are meant to be public remain fenced off for training tracks. Other areas of public land are used for track maintenance. In 4 hours at Caulfield on a glorious warm afternoon, 7:30 Victoria only saw one person using the facility for recreation.
Could the access improve? Of course it could improve. Should we be improving it? Of course we should be improving it. Melbourne Racing Club absolutely welcomes sport on the inside of the racing track. We're very open to community involvement. The more community we can have involved with our facilities and our racetrack, and the more part of the community Caulfield Racecourse feels, that the better it is for the Melbourne Racing Club.
The Melbourne Racing Club is negotiating a new lease for the Crown land with the Racecourse Reserve Trust. Currently, the Melbourne Racing Club pays just $77,000 a year to lease the racecourse.
At this point in time, we haven't been able to agree the finalisation of the terms of that lease. The next steps in the process, if a final agreement can't be reached, is for the involvement of the Valuer General.
With 6 of the 15-strong Board of Trustees nominated by the Melbourne Racing Club, and other trustees also members of the club, some perceive a conflict of interest, and any new lease will come under scrutiny. Councillor Jim Magee used to chair the Board of Trustees and fears new terms for the lease could effectively lock up the racecourse for the next 21 years. Any new agreement must be signed off by the Minister for Environment and Primary Industries. Another interested party will be the Minister for Racing, the Premier, Dennis Napthine.
The Premier has the opportunity to really show some leadership here. The last thing we want to do is ruin racing. Racing's a very important part, and Caulfield Racecourse is a very important part of Caulfield and the City of Glenora. It's an icon. We love it, we want it to stay. But we just want the space shared, and I think we need it, we deserve it, and quite frankly, we're not going to stop until we get it.